Ladies and gentlemen, do you want an opening that can crush white completely? Do you want an opening that has so many tricks in it that white cannot respond to any of them? Do you want an opening that can crush white's d4, not only white's d4, but the most popular responses, d4, we're gonna go knight to f6. Trying to develop our knight to take some more squares. The most popular response, c4. In the next move, folks, we're not gonna go in Fee and Keto the bishop though. We are gonna go and instead Gambit a pawn on e5. Well, folks, if they take knight to g4, attacking white's e5 pawn, while also attacking the pawn on f2, which they will more likely go knight f3, and so we will go pawn to d6. The point of this gambit is that if they take, we will get extra tempo back. We will be seeing what if they do if they go h3. They attack our knight because we can just take the pawn on f2. And now why would they take the knight? Because of the fork. And so if this happens, we will check them with the bishop. The best response is taking the bishop. We are gonna take a free queen. Officially, in this game, we have won the game. If you don't blunder all of your pieces. But folks, what if they not fell for the trap, but instead goes d5 and try to push forward, take some more space on our territory? But actually, it is a very tricky gambit for them. First of all, if they go knight to c3, we are gonna go pawn to d6, and in later on game, they go here, and then we will castle patiently. If they develop their knight, they have lost completely because of the move knight to g4. We're about to fork them, and it cannot really be defended. They could have gone here, but we're just gonna take the bishop, and if they take back, we will have a very good knight on the center of the board. What if they don't do that? What if instead bishop to g5, pinning our knight, cannot move so that we cannot go here? Knight to e4 wins the game because not only gambiting the queen is losing a queen, we are actually mating. And that is actually one of the most sickest lines here in the Budapest Gambit, so no doubt you can try it. We have h3, trying to prevent our knight to go here, not with the bishop, but with a pawn. Folks, that is nothing. We are actually just gonna go and sacrifice yet again the bishop on f2. And if they take back, we are gonna check them with a knight on e4. If they go here, that's mate. I'm sorry, that's mate white. So folks, if they do that, you will win the game. But folks, if they don't do that, we are still gonna go here. And these squares are covered, and some games go pawn to g3. We will take the pawn on g3. They will have to take the knight. So we're sacrificing a knight. We're gonna go pawn to f5 and sacrifice yet another pawn. This check is deadly and opens up the bishop to check the king. They have to go king e4. And now if that happens, this is checkmate. Because after they take the bishop, which we have just sacrificed, a beautiful move, queen to g6, is checkmate. Now, what if they not go knight to f3? What if they go f4? This time, to protect the pawn with the pawn and not with the knight. Well then, folks, we are actually just gonna go bishop to c5 and attack this square, which is very open. If they try to cover it, pawn to e3, this is not, because we are gonna go pawn to d6, and if they take this, we are taking back. Not only this opens up for the pin here, they might defend. And if they defend, we are actually going to surprisingly castle naturally in this game. So if they try to kick out our knight on g4, we're gonna go and take the pawn on e3. We take free pawn, because if they take our knight, well, if we take their bishop, they will take our bishop. There is a tactical mistake here. In these calculations, there is rook to e8, and that is pinning the king to the queen. And now he's gonna lose his queen, and we're gonna win the game. So folks, this is another trap in the Budapest Gambit. You can try. There's e4. Let's talk about that. So folks, if we go pawn to d6, they will take, because this pawn is a long lost pawn and it is already doubled and isolated. So they might as well take a free pawn. We will actually go and take the pawn on d6 with bishop to d6. And this is why this opening is kind of easy to play. Bishop to d6 and knight here on g4 is kind of always the game plan here. Trying to fork also here and also having the bishop here on c5. h3 here might happen. This is not possible because if they take our knight, we check them, they can basically go here and protect their queen. There is a very gross and very powerful move. Queen to h4 attacks the pawn on f2 twice. And so if they take our knight, we will take the rook. And our rook is more worth than the knight. And so what would they do? They could go bishop to e3. That is nothing. This is a free bishop. And the pawn is pinned to the king. So folks, they cannot do that. What else can they do? So g3 is a option, but this sacrifice is also an option. And so if they take back, this is an oh-no position to be in. This is check, so you cannot take the knight, and this fork is coming later on f2. So they are very well in trouble here. So they cannot go there whatsoever. They have the last line, queen to f3. Although I will warn you, it's still a mistake, which is crazy. Why? Because if we take here on f2, they take back with a queen. This is a pin. They cannot do anything about it, which is crazy. So the best move is to take on g3 and we win the queen with trading knight to f3 here. Not only here, but that leads them still to a mistake, because for some reason bishop to b4 confuses the opponent. If they do nothing, first of all, this is bad. So they have to take with the king. This position is very bad because of the knight on f2. So they will not try to do that, and instead maybe try to cover with this move. Folks, that is nothing, because we are gonna go bishop to c5, not only attacking this, some calculation, bishop to e3, trying to protect the pawn over here. This is nothing, because after we take the queen on d1, after we take the bishop on e3, we somehow get this fork again. And they have to go here and we get the free rook. So folks, this is another tactic in the Budapest Gambit that I swear that you could maybe take in your pocket, because knight to g4 and the bishop here is very, very powerful in the Budapest Gambit. Queen to d4 is another line that I haven't talked about, and it is a line that which attacks the knight and protects the pawn on e5, which is a great move from a perspective. We are gonna go pawn to d6, and that attacks the pawn on e5. So they have to take the pawn, because this pawn is a gunner and it's double pawn. We will not actually take it back. We will actually win with tempo over here, which attacks the queen on d4. And now we have more development than him. And so they have to go here. We're not gonna take the pawn here because it's check, so we're gonna go up with the bishop. And as you can see, white is already lost in development, and we're gonna win this race because of the fact that we have so many pieces developed. If they take yet again the pawn, because why not, we will take back. And as you can see, this is a too powerful position for us, because whatever they do, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy mistake. We're gonna go queen to b6, and suddenly we're attacking them from all sides, and it is very, very hard to stop. And if they go knight to d2, we're just gonna take here, and we're just breaching in. And if they go here, we will just win the game, and we will just win this position by 4+ points according to computer. So now what else? What are the other lines? What are the last lines? Is bishop to f4, trying to also protect this pawn. Since this is a mistake, why don't they just protect it with a bishop, not with a knight, and not with a pawn instead? Well folks, this is still a mistake. Why? Because when we develop our knight and their knight also, we are gonna go and develop our bishop on c5. And so as you can see, if they go here, there is a tactical error. When we go pawn to f6, the moment that they take this pawn, they lost already a piece. Because after we take this, well then folks, they maybe might go here. In fact, that we can sacrifice our knight on f2. If they take, we get a free bishop, and that's a trade. Not only that, we have a winning position, and after knight to d5, we can even do a little trick here. This is a fork, right? There's no way that black could get out of here, except if black goes queen here. As you can see, if they take this, we will go here. If they take back, we go back to the scene of the crime, and this is mate in 7, because technically if they go here, we're just gonna check them with queen to f3, and if they go king to h3, this is nothing. We are just gonna go open up the bishop sniper and check them on h3, and if they go here, the only move that they can go to, simply, we are gonna go pawn to h5 and that attacks the pawn on g4, it doesn't matter what white does at this point, anything can turn into a check. So folks, I think those are all the lines of the Budapest Gambit. If I'm not mistaken, see you guys in the next video. I have analyzed this Budapest Gambit very well, and I hope you guys will try it, and I hope you guys learned something in this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe, or don't. It's your choice anyway. I respect your choices, by the way. See you guys in the next video. Well, I guess, yeah. Peace out.